Bonjour and welcome, bienvenue, to the latest episode on Part-Time Athletes. Today we're going to be myth busting. Loads of you sent questions into the Instagram, thank you so much. If you haven't been there yet, check that out here. We're here today to try and break down some of those misconceptions and help you understand the actual right philosophy behind a few things. I'm going to make this really snappy. If you've got any questions, come over to Part-Time Athletes Instagram, find me a DM, let's get this ball rolling. First myth, stretching. Does it help? Does it prevent injury? We need to understand why we're stretching something. If you're stretching something to make it longer, it's not going to work. If you do feel more limber and flexible after stretching, it's more likely to be down to the nervous system changes that you're experiencing. If we take something like the ITB, which is commonly referred to as being tight, it's a very thick connective tissue which is attached to the femur, that's your thigh bone, the whole way up the bone. You need a hell of a lot of force and time to try and lengthen that tissue. While stretching does get a bad rep at the moment, and there's no evidence to suggest that it reduces injury, it does enable your nervous system to push past a little bit more than it was comfortable before the stretch. If that's the outcome you're looking for, and you enjoy stretching as part of your daily ritual, go for it. Myth number 2, foam rolling. What does foam rolling do? It has been shown to increase blood flow and therefore oxygen delivery, and it has also been shown to assist in fluid transport. That means taking away some of the debris or introducing some of the more needed fluids. Foam rolling has also been shown to reduce your DOMS pain. So if you like using the foam roller after a long run or cycle and you feel it helps with your pain the next day, go for it. What your foam roller does not do is break down scar tissue, loosen up your muscle or connective tissues, or reduce the risk of injury. Myth number 3, a knot in your muscle. But I've got a knot right here. No such thing. You cannot knot. You can't physically tie up your muscle fibers in a bundle. You can't do it. Stop it. Stop it. Myth number 4, slipping a disc. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, you cannot slip a disc. Physically can't do it. I did a video on it. See it here? Myth number 5, perfect posture. There is no such thing as the perfect posture. Our postures do vary from person to person, but there's no research to suggest that one is better than the other. Standing up straight, sitting up straight, we're both made up and there's no clinical backing behind that. Myth number 6, wear and tear. If someone's told you that you've got wear and tear in your body, they're probably telling the truth, as we do have degenerative changes in the body. But what most people then see this as is that this is irreparable. In actual fact, we should be saying wear and repair. Your body is constantly going through an active metabolic process where it's trying to improve the areas which are more degenerated than others. So see this as a positive thing. Your body's constantly trying to heal. It doesn't just give up on those joints which are slightly more degenerative than others. So trust the process and do everything you can to get that joint back to where it needs to be. Myth number 7, having a weak core can cause lower back pain. The starting research which formulated some of these opinions were by a guy called Peter O'Sullivan. He now discredits his own research and shows us that there are far better ways to improve lower back pain than working on your core muscles. Be like Peter. If you make a mistake, own up to it, move on. We all grow. Myth number 8. I overpronate, so that's why I get foot pain. I'm an overpronator, so that's why I get knee pain. Yes, pronation is a thing. Yes, excessive ranges of pronation are a thing, but it doesn't define your pain. In fact, we need pronation in part of the gait cycle to adapt to the terrain before springing off on our foot. If you've been told that you're an overpronator, this might be a characteristic of your gait cycle and your foot mechanics, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's where your pain is coming from. Myth number 9. Tight hamstrings can cause lower back pain. I'll probably do a video to go on this in a bit more detail, but the question is, are your hamstrings actually tight? There's a huge correlation between length tension and how long the hamstring is compared to what your pelvis is doing. So if your pelvis is what we call anteriorly tilted, that's going to put a big stretch on your hamstrings. We need to see if whether your hamstrings are truly tight or whether actually it's your pelvic position which is causing that tightness. That pelvic position may then have an impact on the lower back. Let's maybe not always blame the hamstrings. Let's look at everything else around the back. This week's disclaimer is, if you don't understand or if you don't agree with anything I've said in this video, come and talk to me. Open door policy. Let's chat it out. And the floodgates open. Once again, athletes, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe this video. It really helps the channel. Let's boost those numbers up a little bit so that we can spread the word, get everyone rehabbing, back to full potential, back to full health, pain-free. Also, go and follow the Instagram if you're not already following it. I'm putting up weekly posts on everything. Go enjoy.